All right, here we are, guys. Welcome back. This is episode 2 of the Hammock Life here at No Worries Brewing Company.
We did it. We made 2. Well, we haven't made 2 yet.
Yeah,
We're
we
making
just
2.
started too.
But we're getting to make 2.
Yeah.
This could be a catastrophic failure.
But what could be, and along that line, I'd just like to start out and say, as a disclaimer, there will be no discussions about dogs or babies at breweries tonight.
How about baby dogs?
I'm
mean-
okay with that and cats. We have to follow up with a discussion about our cats allowed at breweries. We'll save that for
All
a
right.
later day.
So before we go too far, I feel like we need a theme song at the beginning. You know, like every cool, amazing 80s show has like a really fun theme song.
Ba-da-ba-da-bum-bum-bum.
But
Right.
There it is.
I think we need to compose
Record
it though,
that,
because
play
I'm
it
not
back.
sure we have the license to use.
Too much bass, not enough treble.
All right.
All right, so why are we here, guys?
We're drinking some beers. Let's drink some
After
beers.
that sweet intro song of,
Yeah.
how'd it go? Bada-bada-bada-bum-bum-bum-bum.
Wait, I thought we're gonna drink the beers. We
Anyway.
talked about
We
towards
are
the
going to
end,
drink
right?
the beers,
Yeah.
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 Cool.
Let's drink some
Let's
beers,
open the
boys.
beers up.
So we got some local brews.
Oh, that sounded really nice.
You're supposed to open it in front of the microphone, you jerk, so everyone else can hear it.
Oh, see, I did technically open it in front of the
All
microphone.
right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody out there in the world, too.
All right.
Nice.
So let's start with what we're drinking tonight. So
Sounds good.
Julian, you can go first because you're on the end.
This is Cookies for Santa by Black Hog Brewing Company. It's a bourbon barrel aged chocolate chip cookie imperial stout collaboration with the Drunk Alpaca.
Nice. I got Firefly's Lizard Breath IPA going on right here. Pull it out of the fridge. It's tasting pretty good.
I'm drinking New England Brewing Company's Raising Helles. It is a delicious German-style lager.
Name's funny.
Very delicious.
And-
and if you like Raising Arizona, you would get all the references.
Oh, that's a good.
on-
That's a
on-
movie I've
on-
seen.
You've seen a movie?
I've seen Raising
Well,
Arizona.
he sees it in parts.
I don't believe this. I'm going home.
He sees it in parts, I said.
No, I found that one on
In its
on
entirety?
DVD. Yeah.
Anyway,
I
what
watched
are
on
you
DVD.
drinking over there?
I am drinking the No Worries.
Where'd you get that from? Oh my God.
No Worries Brewing Company
Oh,
right here in
wow.
Hamden, Connecticut. It's our house brown ale, and it is tasty.
Nice.
It's
That's a
actually
nice
been a
beer.
while since I've had one.
So perfect timing.
It was a good time.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So, yeah. How's everybody doing today?
Pretty good.
Good. Very, very tired.
Thanks to everyone.
Bill's
that,
hungry, by the way, everybody.
Yeah, Bill's
We're gonna,
almost hangry.
If he starts eating the camera or his microphone, he just needs some food.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we'll get through it.
Big shout out to anyone that's come out to the brewery the last 2 days and bought some stuff to go.
Yeah,
Really
and
awesome.
and other ones. I mean, we swung by to actually grab some stuff from Nebco, and
Yeah.
a lot of people were coming through and out. You know, the to-go thing has been great for everybody, it seems, so far, just making the best of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The online ordering's been going great. People just showing up and grabbing beers to go. It's really appreciated, and it's been going really awesome. So
Been
thank
keeping
you
me
so
busy
much.
all day filling crowlers.
Nice.
Gotta clean the machine actually.
Yeah,
now that we're done, it got messy.
That sounds like an album cover.
And when you're out there, whether it's a brewery or a restaurant, don't forget to tip your servers. Like, I know I went to Pokemoto, get some food for Julie and I on the way in, and I tipped them 20% when normally I wouldn't really tip them at all because I'm that guy. But, times are tough right now, so
Yeah,
everyone helps
spread the
everybody.
love.
Yeah.
We all help each other out.
Karma.
Cool.
Absolutely. So we gonna roll into hot takes, or we wanna just keep?
I thought you
talking
had like a
about more?
thingy.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the thingy that we're not going to talk about dogs or babies. I don't want to get Bill banned.
I feel like
from
you built that thingy
Yeah,
up.
you
Yeah.
hyped that up. I'm super
I had it
disappointed.
was better
in
in
you
my
right
head.
now.
It didn't come out very
she
well.
said.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Wah,
disappointing,
wah,
Patrick.
wah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, so we're gonna go back to our hot take discussions because I had fun with it last night.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. Yeah.
It-
That's
it-
a
For
lot of
people
fun.
who didn't know the hot take, you want to give them a quick rundown
Yeah.
for
So-
any newbies? Any
Yeah.
newbies?
So anyone first time listener, long time, all that kind of stuff. Long time. One
I
day.
mean, it's episode 2.
two. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they've seen
It
this,
was a
one,
radio
100%
joke.
of the show.
Hey,
Very
I
true.
used to be the 95.9 The Fox Fantasy Football guy on Friday mornings, so
Yeah.
I have experience. Those are things you say in radio.
So why is it a used to?
Anyway, let him get to it, guy. Shut up.
We have. I'm just gonna. I did some upgrades while we were, gone overnight. Notice the banners in a different place.
Upgrade.
And
Down
now-
here. Down here.
And now I hit a button, and the screen changes, and you can now see us and our lovely wheel over here to Julian's left.
Yes.
That's the left.
I'm looking at his thing.
That was a
don't know.
beautiful fade too.
Yeah,
That was nice.
I can go back.
We really,
Back.
after all those views last night, we just had to upgrade the equipment. I mean,
well,
obviously.
you gotta keep making things better so people come back.
We're on the
Yeah.
fast track to fame.
So the way this is going to work is we are going to spin the wheel, and behind one of those 12 pie pieces is some kind of topic related to beer, and we will take stances on that, whether we believe them or not. Those views may be ours. They may not be. We may be just be doing it for your entertainment and strongly opposing and just to provide some devil's advocate counter arguments. But it's a lot of fun. There's other podcasts out there that do stuff like this, but I've never seen anything like it in the beer industry. So.
Yeah, and our goal is obviously we want to promote. I mean, so nothing's meant to be negative as far as, you know, we're not going too overboard or anything like that. Remember, this is going to be lighthearted conversation that hopefully you enjoy. And if
then I'll win.
You're never going to win.
I'm going to win.
There's no point structure.
And honestly,
There could be.
I feel like people should start voting for the best of us.
Oh, so there
So
is
we're all
a
going to
point
lose. So
structure.
we're all going to lose. But if one person gets a vote, I'm just saying, vote for me.
So wait,
I
should
don't like
we
this.
vote at the end? Or should we just raise hands?
Mike,
Mike
Mike Lazaro, I'm calling you out right now. You better fucking vote. I know you're listening because you got nothing else to do.
I hope he doesn't vote for you.
I'm pretty sure he's
I don't care if you
really,
vote. I did not say vote for me. I just said you better
right, that's
fucking
fair.
vote.
he's
fair.
really hammered right now, though. So
He might be.
he might have to vote tomorrow.
He votes. He voted 4 times.
Also, if we don't get to the spinning of the wheelie thing, then he's not gonna have anything to vote
All right,
on. So
Julian,
we'll go
you're,
ahead and do
you're
that.
In, you're in the seat. Give that bad boy a spin. Make sure it doesn't fall off the table.
Are we going aggressive or light?
Whatever you want.
Just don't knock it over.
That was a good middle ground.
I was worried about that yesterday.
It looks so cool in the thing.
Everybody can actually see where it was. Like yesterday, you couldn't see that there was a thingy up top. This time,
Right.
we're killing it today. Here, let's see. Dun, 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 dun.
What do we got?
New England IPAs.
New England IPAs.
That's the hot take, right?
All right.
That is
England
that.
IPAs.
Hold on a second. I have to see if this is allowed on the internet so we can actually promote the episode and push the CT beer scene and our brothers and sisters in the industry.
Your phone's. Is it a dial-up?
I think we're all right. I don't see it on the band. I don't see it on the band list. I think
All
we're
right.
all right.
We already covered the band list. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we did that all in episode 1.
Perfect. Great way to start
Unintentionally.
off.
That's my favorite part. We hit it unintentionally. Anyway, hot take. Hot take.
This is truly random.
So obviously, New England IPAs are, you know, one of the hottest beers right now for like what, 2, 3, 4 years?
years,
I don't know.
I'd
Yeah.
say pretty much as long as I've been.
Well, I think there was a lot of fandom initially, but now that they're highly produced by, you know, East and West Coast breweries, anywhere in between, I mean, they're killing it.
Yeah, you're
Right.
you're finding them all over the country. Some places just call them hazies. They don't
Yeah.
call them New England IPAs.
Hazies.
So-
Whatever the case is,
I
but you see
actually have
them
I actually have a
everywhere.
stance on this.
All right, I like it.
All right.
I was just sort of doing
Yeah,
a quick
you were
banter before
doing
we
a
get
little
into
off
it.
the topic.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
New England
Yeah.
New England IPAs. I love them, but they are not IPAs.
I love you, Patrick.
Okay.
I am perfectly fine with the style and what it entails. I am absolutely sick and tired of us referring to them as an IPA.
I think at
We
best,
just call them New England ales.
I don't know what they should be called.
my opinion.
I don't know what they should be called, but they do not
All right.
fit the guideline of an India Pale Ale or an IPA for those that don't know what that actually means.
Well, that's why they added the words New England in front of it. It's a different style.
I have the weirdest take on this. I'm not going to say it, though. I'm just thinking.
I'm going to bring a gavel so one, we can decide who's right, and two, I can hit Bill with
You're
it.
just going to do that.
No, I just want to hit Bill with it.
Oh, that's fair. It's not for actually. It's not for any principle.
No,
besides
it's
that.
no, it's just to hit Bill.
What were you gonna say, Julian?
I-
For once, Julian didn't actually get his voice out there.
Yeah. I'm trying. I like-
Crazy.
yeah. I've always said, even from when I first started trying these things, I don't think that they are IPAs. They don't taste like IPAs. They don't look like IPAs. They don't smell like IPAs. I think at the best you can call it a New England style pale ale, and I think that's still kind of a stretch. Should have come up with a
I
whole,
feel
whole
like
new name.
you had me until the end.
So what would that whole
Because
new name be?
how is it a
then?
pale ale? How is it a pale ale? You just said it didn't look, smell, or anything.
That's why I said at
If you're gonna
at-
look at the BJCP,
Well, that's
Well, that's why I
that is
said-
inherently the problem.
well,
It
that's why I
is
said
no-
at best.
I'm just saying. He just lost me on his argument. That's all I'm saying. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing.
Well, the argument was that at best you could call it a pale ale, but it's not even really that. It should be its whole own thing. I just don't think it's like anything that existed before.
I agree. It
So,
definitely is nothing.
New England style hazy ale, I guess.
I mean, my hot take.
Yes.
All right.
That's,
go for
that's
it.
why we're here.
All right. Well, I think that New England. So I'm going to do two folds because you guys are thinking technical. I'm going to think for the industry. Now, it might be one of the best beers as a style. I don't care how it's called or why. Because when they first introduced, it's right around when we opened up. Like, so
4 or 5
5 years
ago.
ago. It was very niche, and people didn't really know how to brew them, and there was a lot of poor technical things out there, right? So that alone, by becoming popular, forced everybody to really learn how to make these things well, more stable. Still not as stable as some other styles, but it's an IPA, so it's going to be a little less stable just from the amount of hops you put into it. But on the other side of that, why I also am going to take the side of it's one of the best styles, it also has made beer such a broad audience.
True.
Think about
Yeah.
how many people only know what a New England. I literally had a conversation, not this week because no one comes in the tap room, about they didn't know what a West Coast IPA or an East Coast IPA was. I had to explain to them both of those styles.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
so it's sort of, in some ways, just the exposure of this style and how many people love New England. And they're very, obviously, the people who love New England style IPAs are infatuated with them. So I think it's to me, it's the new gateway beer. You know,
I think it's brought a lot of your traditional macro
early
drinkers.
2000s, that was Blue Moon, right? Shock
Yeah.
Top. And now I think it's New England IPAs.
I don't disagree with you
Yeah.
whatsoever.
So I'm only thinking it from the non-technical side for this. I also have the technical thing, which I won't disagree with you on. But if I'm looking at it from an industry, Bill hasn't said anything, by the way.
I'm thinking.
That's normal,
Yeah,
though. Bill doesn't
thinking ain't
talk.
drinking, buddy.
I was drinking too.
Fair.
My beer's halfway gone already.
It's fair. From a technical side, though, I won't while Bill's still thinking, I will agree that it's more like a wheat beer for the most part. I mean, there's some people that don't use a lot of wheat, but a lot of it is more like a wit. The style of yeast we're using is different than you would use like for a wit beer, but you're still using some of the similar characteristics. I can't talk. Once again, that was 2 episodes in a row that I couldn't talk. Where you're trying to get the little bit of haze coming through, obviously more haze now. There's other techniques, but the yeast does aid in that. So I do feel like, from your perspective, I do agree, and Julian's, it's not necessarily a true IPA. And if we're looking at BJCP, and for those who have read countless brewing books or even just history, it's a very blurred line that there are many styles that were developed over history because they could brew that for that purpose. So an IPA was brewed because they wanted to travel long distances. Double was longer distances. A lot of styles now are because we're being creative. So I think that it's okay to be called an IPA in the sense that we aren't making styles because we're stuck somewhere. Like a Czech Pilsner was brewed in Czech because they had Pilsner malt that was grown in that area, and the characteristics of the soil come through from that. So I think that as we develop and become more experimental with styles, that just makes sense that it's going to sort of flutter around the lines. I'm going to shut up now.
I want to hear what Bill thinks.
Me too.
I mean, for the most part, I agree with everything that Kevin just said. As you mentioned early on, the style was very inconsistent, but it's been being brewed for so long now, people are really figuring out how to brew this style. They're becoming a much more consistent and even shelf-stable type of beer, whereas early on, it was a lot of trial and error. People didn't really know how to make what they were attempting to make, and they were just kind of throwing ideas at the wall, seeing what would stick. But as time goes on and the brewing industry internally is sharing their ideas with each other, their processes with each other, things like that, people are figuring it out more and more.
And the feedback from the fans, too.
Right,
obviously,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely, yeah. And so it has become a much more refined style. Whether or not it's an IPA is, obviously debatable, but I think the insane amount of hops that go into the beer throw it into that category. But no, it's totally different than the traditional IPAs that we were used to before.
It's
before
a
it came
hoppy,
out.
hazy ale.
Like Hop Stupid?
Yeah,
It's a hop, it's a
I love
Yeah.
that beer.
and and then
At the time.
the same
I
thing
don't
with
think you
the-
could drink it now. Your palate would be like kablooey.
I bet I'd love a bomber.
At that
of
time,
Hop
though, Hop Stupid was like one of those beers, right? Like, or Hop Devil, even. Like,
Hop
I
Devil was
love.
good. I haven't
I
had that in
loved that
years.
beer. I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't had it in a bit, but they were still overt. And Hop
Victory
Devil was
Dirt
from
Wolf.
Victory. Yeah,
Dirt Wolf was great.
but that beer was probably on the balance of a little more East Coast, right? It wasn't really West Coasty because it had more malt.
From what I remember, yeah.
Yeah, it had that like little bit of roasty, but it was a little softer than the true West Coast. It wasn't as dry. Once again, they're very nuanced.
But you still
between
had
East
that
and
real
West.
nice bitter backbone.
Mhm.
going
Oh
on,
yeah,
and
So,
that's-
I'm sure they've evolved it. I mean, most breweries evolve to palates, but if you could drink that beer now that was brewed in 2000, like, but fresh, or 2005 or whatever, whenever you had it at the time, I'm sure it would be, you'd probably die.
I don't know. I kind of miss that old like East Coast IPA.
I feel like we got to find one of these
Challenge
things.
accepted. Go find one. I want to see if I die.
3 episodes in.
Bill, you could
Flatline.
make one.
Ooh, Bill, you can make one. We call it Flatline.
I mean, we're making something tomorrow.
Yeah, that was pretty good for me. That was pretty good for me. Come
It's
on.
not a song though.
Are you sure?
I'm sure
We
it
can
is
make
a
it.
song.
I can sing it.
We can.
Not the song. Crushed it.
We could have Frank.
I
We
hit
could
the
have
note.
Frank write it for us, and then it'll definitely be a song.
No collaborative efforts around here.
That's a lie. You guys did a podcast about. We had a concert.
Anywho, so what are we feeling? All right. Anyway,
Cool.
What
Stop
else?
calling it New England IPA.
I mean, I don't think we can at this
I don't know.
point.
I'm fine with it. I think at this point it's been called that for so long, and people identify with it in that way. I think changing it at this point would just be pointless.
It's like the Goo
But
Goo
yeah,
Dolls. man.
I could see both sides of the argument for sure, and
I think from the customer side too. I mean, I still think I think it's okay, but I do see there is confusion sometimes. But I mean, I think it's with anything. Like there is confusion as far as I don't like IPAs. It's sort of moved. He's like, I don't like IPAs, but I like those ones that are hazy, or I like those ones that taste like orange juice. And it's like, well, that's 90% of the IPAs probably being made at this point, or at least especially in our area, or it being influenced. Like even beers that were a little bit more bitter now are influenced by that, right?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, like, any subset sort of has that confusion. So I don't know. Like sours. Like people are like, I don't like sours except for this one, or I don't,
They lump like
like sours are such a broad category, right?
yeah.
I mean,
they'll lump
Extremely,
like a wild
extremely,
saison in with like a kettle sour. And
or
make sense.
aged on
Right,
bread
right,
and this,
yeah.
that, and the other thing. It's like, well, a kettle sour versus something else is completely different. So I feel those are very broad categories. So it's the same idea. You're always gonna have confusion, but I could see it where if there was some way to reduce or remove all confusion, that'd be fantastic. But I just don't think it's not the case. Stop laughing over here.
Should we make
not
one that
laughing at
nobody
you.
has any
I'm not
idea what
laughing
it
at you.
is? Just call it Land of Confusion.
well, I do like too that
Land of a Thousand Dances.
that music video scared the shit out of me as a kid. Go watch that video. It is fucking frightening. Anyway, I also like what you said about it being a gateway beer for people and getting more into the craft beers in general. I mean, yeah, for sure. I definitely see people who get stuck on them and they only want them. But eventually they start coming out of that. They start getting more open to trying other styles and seeing what else is out there and turned on to them. So I think it's a slower burn because once you get hooked on that style, people, like I said, really seem to just.
It's hard to get off of it. It is
Yeah,
such
yeah.
a great
It's-
style, whatever it is. It is
Oh, yeah.
called.
Well, especially
they're
if you
great.
haven't been introduced to craft beer until that style
Right.
at all. It's just something that you just grasp onto, and it's.
And
like
your palate
finding-
gets fucking hammered, right? I mean,
Yeah.
in a great way as far as like the flavors and whatever your hop combo is. You're usually getting a lot of melon or orange or whatever, pineapple, and so it's if people only are experiencing like the macro side of things, you're not expecting that, right?
Right.
So I think that is sort of like a new shocking, but a positive shocking experience.
So I'd like to bring us back to the original conversation because I'm looking at the paper and it says New England IPAs the best.
Yeah. Why does it say the best?
Yeah, we didn't actually talk about if they're the best or not.
Kevin did.
I did.
Yeah.
I think they are because they're the gateway beer. So right now, I feel like because not only, I mean, if it's your one or be all, that's fine. But I think the multitude of what I had chatted about because of how much exposure it does help with the brewing industry, it did challenge a lot of people. You could love it or hate it as a brewer, but it definitely challenges you to think how to use ingredients differently, which I really appreciated. Try to really work on your consistency, which everybody knows is a very hard thing to do. So if you could make something consistent in a New England IPA and also pushing the boundaries at the same time, I think that's a fantastic thing. It may not be the 90% of the beer. I may not be drinking a New England IPA. I'm speaking far too fast, but I would definitely appreciate it from the technical aspect of you're thinking there, you're sitting there, racking your brain about how you can pull this beer off by also executing it with a high level of accuracy. You know, how many conversations have we had of like, oh man, this is the greatest batch ever, quote unquote.
Don't we say
And-
that every time?
I mean, because
They-
it's true.
You do every freaking time, and then you go and change something.
Well, yeah, it's like it's evolving your process. It's trying to get more out of your product. It's so many things, and also getting feedback and saying, oh, this one was good, or like let's change the temperature on this. Let's try that. So you're always pushing the envelope, and in every style you do that. But because it's a new, uncharted territory. Like you can go as a professional brewer, we can go and read a book about sours or lagers, and yeah, there's only so much you're gonna learn from a book. There's no New England IPA guide, like
Yes, there
You
is.
should write one.
Scott Janish released one last year.
Who's that?
He is sometimes called the father of the New England IPA.
okay. Well, I've never read it.
Yeah.
So it
It's,
doesn't
it's
exist.
pretty new.
Where's he brewing?
He,
I don't know how to read,
He,
so
he opened up with Michael Tonsmeyer down in Maryland. Why is the name?
Maryland's not in New England, Patrick.
Yeah, but he.
Dun, 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 dun.
Sapwood Cellars. So he got together with Tonsmeyer, who literally wrote the book on American sour beers.
That's pretty cool.
It's called American Sour Beers.
Didn't our very own
Yeah, but
Phil
I'm-
Markowski
so
write
he wrote a book
on-
about
on
New England
Saisons?
IPAs?
And Janish brings his New England
Gotcha.
IPA background.
Well, either way,
So
I'd like to check that out.
He did
That
release a
sounds-
book.
yeah, I would definitely read it.
That does sound really interesting.
Yeah, I'd
But-
check that out for sure.
I'm just gonna say that one source from a style that's been around for less than 5 years is probably not necessarily there. Where
Yeah.
there's a style, say like sours, they're coming from different.
It's not like reading Terry Foster's book on stout and
Right,
Porters,
yeah, yeah,
where,
stout- I mean,
you know,
yeah,
he's been
yeah.
doing it for decades.
Right,
love
and then you
that.
also have like more literature from like labs, like, hey, this is the yeast we literally have been culturing for 30 to 50 years for this style of beer. So I mean, yeah, even in backpedaling, I guess on my end of sure, there's some literature out there, but a lot of it's still experimentation. We're still trying to get better at it, and also the producers. I mean, like hop growers hop selection are changing.
Oh,
Before they were
absolutely.
looking for alpha acids, now they're looking for aroma and flavor, and the way they do that is completely different than it was a while back, and they're getting better and great. Like the hops are fantastic that they're coming out with. Same variety, but just a better selection for what we're trying to do with them.
It's got to be crazy to be a hop grower out there and trying to stay ahead of the curve so that you've got crops ready to go for the next. big
They
phase.
are
I mean,
the-
if I
they
was
are
one,
the
they'd all
curve,
be
though.
dead because
They
I'm
are the
terrible at
curve.
growing things.
I mean, yeah, I guess that makes
They'll
sense.
do a small batch for one or two breweries, and if that takes off, now they are the curve next year,
Yeah.
producing that hop. So
Very, very cool. So Kevin's vote is New England IPA the best. Bill,
The best.
the best, not the best.
Best.
See,
Then we'll vote.
if you,
I was
ask,
thinking
if,
it in my
if you
head,
asked
you
me,
said it
if
out
you asked
loud.
me without Kevin talking, I would have said no, they're not the best. But I do like his take on why he thinks they're the best. My own personal opinion, as far as what I like drinking, I
Is
would
that-
would not call them the best.
Cool.
I'm a lager guy for the most part. I mean, I do appreciate a nice New England IPA. I'll drink one once in a while. But
you
it's-
agree to
it's-
disagree.
It's definitely not something I go to.
Okay, so-
It's a difference of I could see why they're the best from that perspective,
Yeah.
but personal
But not the
opinion,
best.
they're not my favorite.
Patrick,
not the best.
not the best.
Not the best.
What is the best according to Patrick?
Ooh, I might be on Bill's lager train.
I mean, lagers are pretty
Very
great.
broad.
It's a very
like-
broad category, but
I'm on the
but-
ales train.
Check Pilsner.
And I'm just gonna split us right down the middle, and I'm gonna agree with Kevin that they are the best because I'm the sales guy and I like to sell them. They go fast. So
That was a terrible decision.
yeah.
was it though?
I'm going to change my vote.
I'm sending
anyway.
pictures to my wife
Now everybody sees.
of my penis.
We doing? We,
You like
we
good with
going
camera?
one more hot take? What do we?
No.
I think this is a good one.
Yeah,
I think we can call it. An
Ideally, we
episode.
think we do one. I mean, we just two for funsies, which we hit on some sweet hot button issues last time.
We did.
Yeah.
Beautifully random.
Remember if we had that intro music? We totally have outro music.
I can work on that for tomorrow.
So which
I
of
got
our
plans. Don't worry about it.
How long has this been? I like.
We're almost at 25 minutes.
Oh
we're
wow!
good.
Yeah.
Already.
I mean, we still gotta. We're gonna
That
still.
was- that
which,
was fast.
which of our friends?
yeah, we're still gonna do a thing with the beers, right?
Yeah, let's do the thing with
All
the
right.
beers.
Cool. Yeah, so the thing with the beers is, like I said, I'm drinking the Cookies for Santa. It's a collaboration with Black Hog and the Drunk Alpaca.
already heard
Fantastic people, yeah. Drunk Alpaca is unfortunately decided to close their retail front, so you cannot get yourself any alpaca treats from them.
But they're gonna get when they are cranking, they're in all of our tap rooms. So
Yeah,
once
yeah,
we
absolutely.
get open again,
so,
I'm sure they'll be back
so
out.
where I was going with that is that Black Hog Tap Room is currently open per their Facebook.
I think they actually advertised too that they had some Drunk Alpaca snacks.
Yes,
there.
they
had
do
some-
have some
they
Drunk
put some-
Alpaca snacks.
they had some nice packages,
Yeah,
if I
they put some
recall.
packages together, and they
You
are
have a nice
also
package.
Thanks,
with
Bill.
with Black Hog
Nice.
right now. 100% of the proceeds from gift cards purchased there this week is going to go to their employee relief fund. Unfortunately, they did have to lay some people off. So if you get out to Black Hog Brewing and buy yourself a gift card, that will help them provide some relief for their employees during this whole thing we're in. Right
Yeah,
now.
it's super cool to see that.
Yeah. So I was doing the Firefly. I think they were just releasing Glow to the market, is what I was reading, which is their new New England IPA.
There
Look
you
at
go.
that.
That's topical.
As of today, they were not open taproom wise, but they were making an announcement. So their plan was to open probably this weekend. If we'll put a link for all this stuff in the description of the video. So we'll tag their Facebook at the very least. If they have a direct post, we'll put that in there too. But it sounded like they were going to be open this weekend, if not tomorrow. And I'm sure they'll have some of that Glow and stuff to go as well. But it looked like it was going to be that same idea.
And
Grab and go.
Obviously, these breweries are open for to-go and curbside sales only.
Yeah. I think everybody's on the same page. Once we all open up again, then we'll figure it out.
Absolutely. And speaking of things down below, do you like the new banner? It's not as obnoxious and loud.
No
as
one
the
said
one
to
that was
smash
up
the
here.
like button or
smash the like button, subscribe. Yeah. Where is the
All right,
like
so
button?
back on topic here. Like I said earlier, I'm drinking the Raising Hellas from New England Brewing. They are open for can sales, to go orders. They just opened an online shop, so you can order ahead of time. Best bet with them, like Kevin said, we're going to link it in the description to their Facebook. They've been keeping their Facebook up to date with what their hours are, when they're open, what they have available, and things like that. So check them out. And
they do have this one on.
Yes, they have 6 packs of the Raising Hellas as well as many other beers.
As many others.
We do have more of that, right? Because I want.
Yes,
I
we
definitely
do.
want-
Not for you.
It's mine.
I call dibs.
I got the any key.
Rules of dibs.
I'm real sad.
And of course, I am drinking our
I love it.
house.
Self-serving. We're the last.
They're pushing to legalize that in Connecticut.
Self-serving.
Yeah, no, the self-serving
Alright,
tap
let
They
the
already
Back on.
did, but, I'm
Those are
drinking our
dumb.
house brown ale, Say It Loud, which you can get available in cans right here at 2520 State Street in Hamden, Connecticut.
We'll leave a link in there too. Just
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can go online to our website, noworriesbeer.com.
No worries.
No worries.
no worries.
No
I can't
worries.
No worries.
How's that spelled, Patrick?
The
I
W-
sound like a broken speaking spell on the microphone, okay? That's just what it is.
no worries.
Yeah.
that was-
Noworriesbeer.com. There's a link to go to the Square site where you can buy your purchases in advance.
Yep.
Walk in, pick them up, walk right back out the
Link to
door.
all our stock too. So if we're running low, it's not gonna show up. So you don't have to worry about us running
Yeah,
out.
we've got cans of Say It Loud, cans of Hakuna Matata, La Di Da, our seltzer. We've got crowlers of just about everything else we offer right now.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
we have a pilot system batch on for crowlers.
Yeah, we have a few left of our the double IPA.
Yeah, so come down
stop,
and get that.
Stop being greedy. DMX influence.
Yeah, that's not gonna make it to the weekend for sure.
No,
Probably not.
we're almost.
Yeah,
out
was
of
that Amarillo,
And that-
Matueka, and Chinook?
Zythos.
Zythos.
Zythos,
Yeah.
Amarillo, and Matueka.
Yeah, it came out like cotton candy and melon, man.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
don't,
really
I
nice.
don't normally like double IPAs, and I'm enjoying it. I'll only have a half a glass at a time, but
We have
I'm
12
enjoying it.
halves,
I'm
man.
enjoying it.
Oh, woo. Anyway,
Yeah.
Well,
cool.
Thank you.
Anyway, thanks for joining us for episode 2, everybody. Till next time.
cheers, folks. Thank you.
Keep living that hammock life.
Oh, yeah.
Hammock Life.